let's get Ted onto the air. Ted, you're hot.
Hey, I really want to. Now, ordinarily, I'm pretty left, but you have really made a mistake. There is not one pie that stays the same size. The pie can grow.
Yes.
And innovation increases. I agree that billionaires should pay more taxes. And so on and so forth, but you are really falling into a fallacy.
I am so glad that you said that, Ted.
When you say that billionaires, the innovative billionaires, not the ones that inherit, they come up with new ideas that, create more jobs and more competition if managed correctly. I grant you that Republicans, by destroying the trust busting and various other things that they're doing are actually destroying competition. But
Ted, I am so happy you called in. Are you willing to
stealing money?
Yes, they are
creating wealth.
No, they're stealing money, but I'd like to.
They should pay more taxes. I mean, they should pay more taxes.
Ted, can you entertain a conversation?
They should pay higher wages.
Ted, I'm glad you called. First of all, thank you for calling because I needed this. I needed this pushback really, really bad to make my case. Because I think, I honestly say this respectfully, you have fallen into the indoctrinative trap that I fell into when I considered myself a full-fledged capitalist. Let me first tell you a little something, okay? I had a software company, developed my own software, marketed it, had complete pricing power, and was able to sell my software at very high prices to Boeing and several other petroleum industries, space industry, etc. Okay, so I'm not talking from a position of ignorance here. The second point that I really want to make to you here is that
most of my knowledge is academic. But,
okay, sure. Let me continue, if you will, as I listened to you earlier. The second point that I want to make is innovation. Right? None of these billionaires innovated anything. Let me start. I know you're going to say, oh my God, blasphemy. Let me explain. Back in the 90s, right? I wanted to create a shopping cart pro application. I'm a software developer, engineer, etc. I wanted to develop an application. And I started to do a patent search just to be sure is what it suggested that I do. And I realized that Jeff Bezos, patented something called one-click. And by the way, you can look all of this, everything that I say on air, please corroborate it yourself with your own research. Jeff Bezos patented one-click. What Jeff Bezos did with one-click is froze me out and many hundreds, if not thousands, of other software developers out of what he now has become Amazon. We were creating a platform. Many of us had that idea. He didn't innovate to create Amazon, what made him his wealth. What he did was freeze many people out of the market. That's why, if you read my book, as I see it, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom, I go through the entire process of how the patent system has been used to really, which is a part of our economic system to freeze people out. All right? Now, that said, if you look at innovation...
Okay, I agree with you. We need more competition.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're getting somewhere, sir. Now, let me continue.
But again,
but let me finish.
There's not a limited amount of money.
Actually, I don't think I ever said there was a limited amount of money. What I did say is that our economic system over decades have been grown at, let's say, an average rate of 2 to 7%. Okay? And in that growth rate, if those people who are in the capital domain, if their rate of growth is, let's say, 7 to 10 to 12% per year, and the economy is growing at 2 to 3 to 4% per year, it means that money out of that pie, even though it's a growing pie, they are taking a larger share of that pie. And if they're taking a larger share,
would be remedied by higher taxation.
What I'm trying to say, Ted, is the following. There is so much that you're going to realize that you're in agreement with me on, but because of the way I am saying it, because I
agree with you, but I don't. You implied that people are stealing stealing from a limited number of resources.
That was a wrong imply. That was a wrong. If somehow it came out that way.
The process of innovation, for example, the fact that we have cars instead of horses has increased the size of the economic pie.
Of course, I don't deny that at all. But guess what, Ted? Let's look. The biggest innovator in these times have been the realization of the internet. And that internet wasn't created by a whole bunch of billionaires or people who maximize on billionaires. It was created by DARPA, okay? And said creation was done by you and me and all of us who paid taxes. We are the ones who did the work. And after the work was done, somebody decided how to capitalize on the work that was designed. So they didn't innovate. They capitalized on it. And we have to learn to differentiate the word capitalization and innovation, because those who innovate, engineers, scientists, these guys are paid, like I said, once. And the reason I use
how to apply it commercially,
right, and that's what engineers do. Actually, it wasn't Bezos who did that. Engineers,
by doing that, usually they improve the efficiency, and
I agree,
and make it more available to more people.
I agree.
Give them something they want.
I agree, sir. I mean, there's no disagreement here. What's the disagreement here is that what the capitalist system has done is it has tied having those who are accumulating the worth of others into somehow, if we don't apply that paradigm, that somehow innovation ceases. And my contention is that no, innovation doesn't cease by not having billionaires. In fact, because billionaires don't create innovation. Innovation, let me tell you, I would stay in my office and innovate, paid or not.
The fact that billionaires are trying to get to space, that's going to increase the number of ideas.
No.
On how we're going to.
I think that has already proven
space more effectively.
No, I think I've already been proven right there. Let me tell you why I have been proven right. What Bezos is doing is reinventing what I worked for NASA back in the 90s. What he is doing is way with prettier equipment, but it's way behind what we did on the space station project, what we did I wasn't with the Apollo, I was too young then, but for the Apollo project, all these things have been done before. He is just recycling things that we know work already. In other words, what he's doing is creating an avenue for rich people to go to space, etc. But everything that these guys have done, we've already done it and done more with taxpayer dollars and innovation done by engineers on government salaries. And that's what I'm saying. It's how it's marketed, like, oh, the private sector into space now. And I'm sitting down twiddling my fingers, Brother Ted. I'm saying, wait a minute. We did that with a computer that is less powerful than my cell phone. And what happens is how we market things.
He's inventing a market.
Yes, he is. That neither you and I can take advantage of.
I agree with you that billionaires are getting over on us, and that by protecting them, especially inherited wealth,
yes,
like 60% of the wealth, they are reducing innovation. But I'm saying that we need more. I don't see any problem with having a private sector innovate, coming up with ideas.
I have no problem either.
Sector.
I have no problem with that either. And that is where, and this is the reason I wanted to have the conversation. Once you said what you said, I wanted this conversation because of how we've been taught in school about economics, and we've been taught about our economy. A lot of times when I say certain things, it's like, that is such a left-wing thing. You communists, you social. No, that's not it at all. For me, it's all about fairness, right?
I'm pretty left-wing.
Right. But for me, it's about fairness. It's about fairness and fairness. And it irks me that so many Americans do so much. They make you believe that Americans are lazy, or a certain group of Americans are lazy. I ask folks to do one thing. Go to any community at 7 in the morning in Houston, Texas, and you'll see people hustling at the bus stops, people on the roads, everything. Americans are very, very hard workers. Yet the billionaires, as soon as they are going to make a tad bit less, they have no problems. Bezos had no problems releasing 10,000 people, as opposed to saying, but then giving away $100 million to make it look cool. And until we stop adulating, until we stop looking at these guys as something special or benevolent and look for them as what they really are, parasites, and really they are parasites, until we learned how not to feel bad calling them parasites. You know, in other words, sometimes it irks you when I say billionaires, parasites.
I don't know if they're totally parasites.
They're not totally, but there
are some parasitic properties. But anyway,
yes,
I got to go.
All right, look,
talking to you.
Thank you very much for calling in, sir. You have a great day. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number 1, subscribe to our channel, and number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.